I'm Crystal Ketchum with the Atlanta Voice, and I'm sitting here with the writer and director of the upcoming film Blink, Courtney Glaude. Courtney, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and a blessing to be here with you guys.
Thank you for sitting down with us. So this is a big week for you. So you walked in AMC and saw your poster hanging right near the Black Panther poster. How'd you feel in that moment? What was that like?
What you mean, like before, after I got up, after I passed out? It was amazing because I didn't have to prep them about putting it there, so it was an amazing feeling because I was just like, God is really doing His thing in this perspective because that's the perfect place.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what's the significance behind the title of the film, Blink?
Well, it's basically as if anything can happen within the blink of an eye. In this film, because it's a domestic violence film, this guy, his attitude and his mood changes randomly, or you would think it's going one way and it'll go another, or the slightest act could change your life. A lot of people think you have to be beaten to death to be beaten to death. No, you could be pushed and hit your head on something, and in that amount of time, like that could kill you. So it's just about making better decisions because in the blink of an eye, anything can happen.
So you wrote this film. I think that's amazing. So what personal experience did you tap into to write this film?
Well, when I was a kid, my mom was in a domestic violent relationship, so I kind of tapped into that. One of the things that really made me curious about domestic violence wasn't the act. It's not the violence that that sparked this script. It was more or less about why she stayed, because what would happen is he would abuse her, and then he would leave and stay gone for like 2 days, and then he would come back like 2 days later, and whatever they talked about, she would come and present him to me with a bribe with it, as like presenting him shiny and new. So my mom is a really straightforward type of person. So because of that, I'm like, well, this is wrong because it's coming with something that you don't naturally do. You don't buy these shoes like that. So you're presenting him and presenting something with him so that I could look at this shiny new thing and try to ignore everything that I just saw. That was always weird to me as a kid. And just growing up, I felt like I wanted to shed light on something that's probably happening in a lot of households. And doing research, I figured out that it happens way more often than we think.
Growing up in that type of environment and seeing things like that, how does that affect you today as a man?
Well, I have a daughter, so it makes me scared for my daughter, and also scared for the young man that puts his hands on my daughter, because I'm going to jail. I'm just going to jail. But it does affect a lot of kids in a negative way. It didn't affect me in a negative way because of my curiosity. So when I saw my mom being beat, I didn't want that to happen to her, which makes me not want to do that to another female, because I also don't want that for my daughter. But all kids don't go that direction. Some kids see that and think this is the way, this is life, and this is okay because, yeah, this is all we see. So mom got beat, and which means it must be okay because this is mom. And a lot of kids follow their parents' actions, not what they say.
That's true. Now I watched the preview, and watching the preview, my stomach hurt watching like the fighting scenes. It just hurt to watch. So what was that like on set, shooting those scenes? What was that like?
It was very intense because the actors really had to get in the character, and a couple of my actors told me like when we will have days off, they had to remind themselves that they're not this character. Like it was intense. They had to remind them. There was a lot of really silent moments, and a lot of cuts, because I would think like, oh wait, hey, are you okay? Like it was a lot of those things. It's a very intense film, and I wanted to keep it as raw as possible because I got asked a question about references, and we do have domestic violent films like Enough with Jennifer Lopez, and Diary of a Mad Black Woman with Tyler Perry, and also What's Love Got to Do with It. But in my personal opinion, with Enough, it's unreal because nobody's going to learn, no natural, normal woman's going to learn karate and coming to kick their husband off the top of the stairs and prepping like that. In Diary of a Mad Black Woman, great film, but we think about Medea. It overshadows the domestic violence. And then in What's love got to do with it? I'm thinking about Tina. I'm waiting for her to get on stage to perform the next song. I'm not really thinking about that. So I wanted to do a raw film. This film is about domestic violence, and it's a real life film. This film and this story is about a certain woman.
So after watching the film, what do you want men and women to walk away with? And also your daughter, when she's old enough to watch it, what do you want her to walk away with? How do you want her to perceive it?
I want it to be a conversational piece. I want people to be able to talk about it out loud now. I don't want it to be a secret anymore. I want women to understand that. I want women to see themselves. I want the man to see himself, and I want him to understand that this isn't to be judged. This is something to look into and understand that you can go out and you can get help for this thing. That male did not wake up one morning and say, I'm going to beat my wife. He saw something and he believes that this is life. Now, even in my film, I can't tell y'all that right now, but it's something that's gonna happen nah, I'm gonna give y'all the scoop later. But I just want people to understand these are normal people. I didn't make him this monster. These are normal people. So I want people to be able to relate to the character in his regular form and understand that he has a problem, and that problem happens to be this.
Now, the movie is going to release in March in Houston and Atlanta. Are you at all concerned with opening week numbers?
The greatest thing about being a independent filmmaker and this particular partnership is no, I'm happy. I own this, which means that in reality, I just want everybody to go out and be entertained, and that's my daughter's good. As long as my daughter's good and she got food on the table, we good. I wanted to put out a film that had a purpose. This film, I'm not I'm not out to put this film out to make millions. I want to make $1 million worth of change in people. I want to save 1 million lives, not necessary. My daughter's good, so as long as she's good, we're okay. I don't care what the numbers are.
Well, thank you, Courtney. So I'll leave you with the last word.
Blink in theaters March 2nd through the 8th. Make sure you guys check it out.